Okay, Lyle, I want you to tell me what turns you on as far as volunteering. Tell me a little bit about your volunteering and what you do and what it does for you personally.
Mhm. I think I got most involved in the volunteer aspects when I was in Houston, Texas. I went down there on a work assignment to Exxon. And when I got to Houston, the first thing I experienced was people coming and meeting me, in essence, and inviting me to participate in activities within their community. I was a little apprehensive about going to Texas and would I know anybody, but the bottom line was within weeks I was being drawn in to all kinds of things, sports for the kids, church activities. And the thing that stood out in my mind was everybody seemed to be involved in something. So I started participating with a youth group. When I transferred back into Canada in '93, I was starting to look for things to do. And in that time, I began getting more involved in my church, with the men's clubs and the parish activities. And then our bishop in London Diocese decided that they were going to bring back the diaconate program, bringing deacons back into the Roman Catholic Church. That touched me. I started getting involved in that. And when we started talking about ministry of service, that's when I started realizing, hey, it's time to get more serious about this volunteering. And with that, I made a contact with the Inn of the Good Shepherd. And through the Inn of the Good Shepherd, I got very involved in their program. I'm in touch with various other groups, St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, Inn of the Good Shepherd, the fact that they work together. That is what struck me. What I get out of it, it's interesting. When I reach out, I might be a little apprehensive about reaching out to something new, but inevitably when I do that and look back, I realize I got so much more than I ever gave. So it just became part of what I do. I'm blessed in having a wife that is like-minded, and she's very involved in volunteer work. So the two of us can do things together that way.
What would you say to somebody who has never volunteered before and is maybe at a place in their life where they're considering doing some volunteer? What would you say to that person?
Two things, I think. One is there's so many opportunities out there. Start shopping around based on things that you really enjoy doing. And the second thing is don't lock yourself into one activity too quickly. Because when I started experiencing various opportunities as volunteer. Some things looked very interesting. I get into them and found that they weren't really me. So I had to have the ability to step out and look somewhere else. So I would tell them, start looking. I can give you some good ideas, but don't make a firm commitment for at least 6 to 9 months. And during that 6 to 9 months, do your shopping. There's so many opportunities out there to volunteer. There's so many people that need the help that there's no way that you can't help someone.
Tell me, generally speaking, about volunteerism and its impact on the Sarnia-Lambton community. You've seen examples of volunteering. From your perspective, what is the impact on volunteerism in Sarnia-Lambton?
I think Sarnia-Lambton is an area that is very rich in volunteers. Every time I turn around and see and look, I see people volunteering for things. Then I look and see what they're doing and try to visualize what could be done if they weren't volunteering. Again, I'll go to the Inn of the Good Shepherd. There's so many volunteers there. The Inn of the Good Shepherd couldn't function without volunteers. So therefore, they depend upon the volunteers. And the volunteers are from every walk in life. You talk about interdenominational or ecumenical or any of this. Volunteerism is about two people getting to know one another because they have a common interest in helping. The last thing you tend to ask is, what's your background? because that's not really relevant at the beginning. At the beginning, it just said, hey, welcome aboard, let's go do something together. So I think we're very rich as a community in volunteerism. And I don't know how we could get through this economy that we're in now without volunteers.
Tell me about what you actually do at the end of the Good Shepherd.
Okay. At the end of the Good Shepherd, I work in a food bank, first of all, and that is, in essence, a grocery store where clients come in and do their grocery shopping free of charge. I'm in there every Friday, and you get to know the clients because they come in shopping, and you get some one-on-one time with them, which I think is great. I enjoy cooking, so I ended up on 2 cook teams. One cook team, we cook once a month, 4th Monday of every month, and I'm blessed in having some contacts. So St. Patrick's High School, it used to be St. Christopher's, St. Patrick's High School students come in every month. So I invite the students to come in, and they come in and help prepare, and they do the serving, and they do the cleanup. So they get an opportunity to see opportunities to help people in their community. I also worked with one fella at Imperial that was ordained a deacon the year before I was for the Anglican community. So he invited me to participate with their team cooking. So I became their token Dogan, and short term for a Catholic within a non-Catholic community. They nicknamed as token Dogans. A year later, I was ordained a deacon, so I brought the ladies together and said, from this day forward, I'm your token deacon Dogan, and you can't forget that. So I got to cook with, and I still cook with that team every second month. From time to time, the inn has a special need, barbecues, things like that. I find myself and a couple friends of mine from Corunna coming and doing the cooking for that. So we do the cooking, we work in the food bank, and then every time there's a food drive, there's tremendous amounts of work to be done in the warehouse downstairs, and I sort of chip in there. It's sort of wherever I'm needed, I try to be there.
Right. Thanks so much for this.